What is going on, you guys? I am back with another video. Tonight, we're going to take a look at the Transformers Dramatic Capture Series Triple Takeover Pack. So, before we get to the figures and their accessories, let's go over the box. So, you've got this nice image here of Starscream and the Triple Changers shooting at Megatron, because this set is based on the Triple Takeover episode, so there is the football field behind them. This is the Dramatic Capture logo throughout the box. There's also the T-Spark logo. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shots of the figures and their alternate modes. The box is similarly laid out to that of the original box set of the Dramatic Capture series from the Nemesis Bridge. You can see the format is the exact same here on the other side. So that is really it for the box. Let's get the box out of here because the box takes up a lot of space. So you do get a buttload of accessories. So over here is the Starscream pile. Ignore that. Here is the Astro Train and the Blitzwing accessories. So we will go over one by one as to what is different between the Hasbro versions and the Takara versions of these weapons. So let's start with the star of the set, Starscream, and his weapons. So now, go one by one. So we have the null rays for the basic figure, now done in a lighter gray plastic over or lighter white gray plastic over that of the 86 version, done in this beige white. You can see how different those are. And then you get the Coronation version of the Null Rays. On the Hasbro version, they are molded blue. Actually, let me change the light. Let's see if that'll work. There we go. Molded blue, but painted the white or the beige gray color versus the Takara one, which is molded in the whitish gray plastic. Well, all the null rays are like that, so let's get the null rays out of the way. And you have the shoulder pads of the Coronation armor. Takara is molded in the Hasbro purple, but painted this nice purple color with the gold. And this pinkish purple here. Whereas Takara, molded in this purple all the way around. This is molded in a different purple. Actually, I think this might be painted. I don't know. This part might be painted. This is molded in a darker purple. But again, you can see how different they are. The crowns are both molded in blue, but Takara is molded in a lighter blue, whereas Hasbro is in a duller blue. Hasbro has a basic gold, where Takara used a metallic gold. And the reds are different because this is also a metallic red. And then finally, the capes. Hasbro is molded in this pinkish purple, while Takara is molded in a darker purple. So, that is it for Starscream's weapons. He does not come with the throne because all these figures were leaders, and then they were gutted of some of their accessories to make this pack more affordable. And besides, the throne went to the Nemesis Bridge set anyway. So, now we go to Blitzwing. On the left is the Hasbro gun, molded in basic Hasbro purple. There's times I like Hasbro's purple, and then there's times I hate it. And then here's Takara. Love this purple for Takara. They both come with 2 guns, for whatever reason. And then the swords. Now, don't mind the fact that mine's got a lot of wear and tear on the silver. It's from being in a bag in storage for a long time before I moved. But you can see Takara also molded their sword, or painted their sword with a metallic silver. So that's it for Blitzwing's weapons. And now we go to Astro Train, where Blitzwing lost the clear red Energon hands because those were... I'm kind of glad they left that because I didn't like those accessories. They were just weird. Same with Astro Train. Now, Astro Train also came with his coal car. Well, the Siege and the Earthrise one did. It's same with Galaxy Shuttle. This pack does not include the coal car, does not include the minigun, and the little rocket pod. So some of the accessories were taken out of the figure. So we have his toy gun. Hasbro's is black. Takara's is purple. Focus. Why is it not focusing? There we go. So you can see there's that one. And then the twin blasters. Hasbro and Takara. So that is it for the weapons. Get the cape out of here. Now we will go to each individual figure. If you guys want to skip ahead and just not cover the weapons, you could jump right around 7 minutes into the video. I will probably put a thing or an annotation in the video that you could jump 7 minutes in if you don't want to watch the weapon coverage. So here is Starscream, who is more or less the same as his 86 and Earthrise figure, but like I said, molded now in this whitish, grayish white plastic over the beige gray plastic that they chose for the Hasbro molds. But this is how Takara generally does their Starscream, their colors for this Starscream. For Starscream in general, I don't know, I can't talk tonight, but they, like, their Masterpiece Starscreams are generally done in this white color. The stripe from the Earthrise figure is back, but that's just an animation thing. There's episodes where the 86 one would be more accurate. There's episodes where Takara's accurate. Animation inconsistency is G1 by nature. So, yeah. So, lighter blue. They have replaced all the gunmetal with this grade color here on the thrusters. That's actually one of the places where Hasbro and Takara differ. Takara painted the front of the feet here, this gunmetal color. Or Hasbro did, yeah. And then Takara painted the thrusters on both ends. So the thrusters here and on his feet are done in that gray color. I forget what these are called on a plane or on these kind of jets, but gunmetal versus metallic gray. I painted the inside of the cockpit orange on my 86 version. So you can see the inside of the cockpit here on the Takara. And there's some more red in jet mode, but I will cover that in robot mode. But you can see they look 10 times better. Or the Takara one looks better, in my opinion, than the Hasbro one. So you can plug the Mulrays onto the jet mode, and he looks good. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's one of the coronation always. Was one that fell out. Yeah. So there's Starscream. He's great. I like it. Oh, let's move on to the next spot. We're going to start with the other two highlights of the set. Astro Train in his shuttle mode. And right off the bat, this is 10 times better than the original Astro Train mold. Because he's molded in a lighter gray, and I love this purple. Like, I think this shade of purple is perfect. Takara and Hasbro need to do this purple a little more often. Like, here's the purple from Blitzwing's gun and the purple from Starscream's shoulder pad. It's a lot closer to Hasbro purple than it should be, but regardless, it looks really cool. But the gray, just the lighter shades of gray, looks significantly better than that of the Siege Astro Train, because the Siege Astro Train, his gray almost looks like it's yellowing. Focus. There we go. Yeah, the Siege one almost looks like he's yellowing. And then this dark blue, violet purple, I don't like it. But overall, these are all just repaints. This whole pack, the whole dramatic capture thing, is just repaints. There's no Siege guff here. But, yeah, he looks way better in this mode. So, yeah, let me put him in his train mode real quick. And here he is in his train mode. And the purple, again, looks so much better. They opted to get rid of the black plastic in favor of purple plastic, so the figure blends better in train mode all across. Now he has yellow windows here. They have some silver here picked out for the rails on the wheels. The feet have now been molded in purple with some gray here to make the train look better. And then here, like the head of the train, this is now molded in purple with versus the Siege one. You can see how different the Siege one is to the 3-pack. Let's see, you can see here gunmetal here on the rails, gunmetal in the window. This was molded black. The feet were gray, so it kind of stood out. But, yeah, I think same thing for Astro Train. The Takara one wins. This one looks way better. This is more accurate than the Siege one. I have already given the Siege versions of, the Hasbro Astro Train to my brother, and who has decided to give it to my dad, but yeah. This will be my definitive Astro Train in my collection, barring I don't like whatever they do with the 86 version. So, that is Astro Train. Now let's bring in the one that changes, I think, for the better. Blitzwing. I have him here in his jet mode. And this is night and day. Way better than the Hasbro version. Done in this nice purple here. They did the gray here from the cartoon. They left the fins here unpainted. And they're this color. They did the purple trim around the window. Metallic silver. This gray looks really good. Just overall looks way better. It makes this jet mode a little more tolerable than the Hasbro mold. I mean, don't get me wrong, this jet mode's still kind of not the greatest. For a leader class triple changer, jet mode suffered indefinitely. But let's bring in the Hasbro version so you can see how different we got. Now, mind you, the Hasbro version, I definitely think, was aiming more for the color scheme of the toy. Because this purple, I don't like this purple. or the silver wings. I wish the yellow would have extended up here. This translucent red. You can definitely tell here, though, the tank is sitting back here. But I don't know why it just feels more like the jet on the Takara one. Yeah, they used the silver Autobot or silver Decepticon symbols here on the jet mode, whereas here they did the silver trim or the silver backing con symbols. Yeah, I think still Takara is the clear winner for just in general. So let's do tank mode real quick. And we've got Blitzwing back in his tank mode. And yeah, the tank mode's no different than the Hasbro version, but yeah, you get the lighter tan colors here. The purple's a lot more obvious. Blue versus red. Gunmetal treads versus gray treads. I just think Takara is still the clear winner in terms of color. But I think with this, we do not need an 86 Blitzwing. Call this a day right here with Blitzwing, and you do not need a 86 version of Blitzwing. I mean, for the people that don't want to buy this pack, then yeah, you're going to have to do it that way, but yeah. I think Blitzwing is just a strong-looking figure with these colors. So now, we've covered everybody in their vehicle modes. So now, let's get to everybody in their robot modes. Alright, so here we have Starscream in his robot mode. And this guy looks really good in these colors in the robot mode. Let's start on his face. Bring the light over here to see it better. Now, on the Takara version, Starscream's head is still molded in blue, but painted this nice dark black with the cartoon gray on his face. And that looks really good. I'll go over some of the big changes with the figure here in a minute. Articulation-wise, focus, nope, state, up, focus. Head is on a ball joint with the wings out of the way. Arms can do a full 360, in and out, bicep rotation, elbow bend due to transformation, upwards wrist movement, opening hands due to his leader class budget. Opening, or his crotch moves forward, legs can go forward, cannot go back, in and out. Can only go out that far. Thigh rotation, knee bend, really good knee. The toes can move down, and you've got a limited ankle joint. So, he's not as posable as, say, most of the stuff we have now. But that's just because he is a blown-up figure from the early 2000s. Oh, his wings can also hinge here and hinge here. Forgot about that. Now, let's give him his weapons. So he can pew-pew and bang-bang on the Autobots or Megatron or anybody he wants to shoot up. So, there's Starscream. And let's compare him to... Alright, here he is with the 86 Starscream. And you can just see how different these two are in the terms of their colors. Hasbro's got a brighter red, better blue, the brighter whitish plastic. Don't forget that I custom or I painted this. But let's get a better look at their head sculpts. I mean, you can see the color difference in those alone. So in terms of figures, I much honestly prefer the Takara version. I mean, it's more cartoon accurate to a degree than the Hasbro mold. This was, don't get me wrong, I love the 86 Starscream. I like the Earthrise mold in general. But I think just color-wise, this is more accurate to the cartoon. So now, let me get these guys, or put their coronation gear on. We'll be right back. Alright, so here is the Hasbro Starscream and the Takara Starscream. Now, again, it's your own personal preference, but with how the coronation gear looks. Focus. There we go. Personally, I don't mind either or when it comes to the coronation gear because, again, the animation was always inconsistent. There were shots of the movie where the cape was this color, and then there were shots of the movie where the cape was that color. I like the darker purple shoulder pads over the lighter purple shoulder pads. I love the metallic crown, but I actually kind of like the color of this cape. I don't know what I'm going to do. This Starscream is going on my main display to replace this Starscream. Whereas this one, I'm actually going to display him as the coronation version. Yeah, this one is going on my display in his coronation gear, now that I actually have two Starscreams. He's going to go on the same shelf as my dead characters. So, Dead Ironhide, Dead Ratchet, Dead Brawn, Dead Prowl. So, yeah. Now, the one thing I wanted to point out with Starscream that I didn't point out is something that they actually changed with the figure. Here and here. Wait. The bicep joint where the arms are. Takara molded the bicep joint and the crotch in red plastic. So it seemingly looks better with the figure, and it fills in his torso more over the Hasbro one. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the cape is also on a hinge. So if you want to flow the cape, you can do that. So, yeah, that is all I can really say for Starscream. All right, so here is Astro Train, and dude, he looks so much better. Let me bring the light down. Like, this looks way better than the original one. His face is the same, so now done in a lighter purple with a lighter yellow. Still silver on his face instead of the white, but it's whatever. Articulation-wise, head's on a ball joint. Focus. With wingback arm, can do a full 360. They can go in and out. Bicep rotation. Double jointed elbows. Inward wrist movement for transformation. The wings can hinge back and forth. Oh, focus. He does have a waist. You move the hip skirt, hips can go forward. They can't really go back. In and out. Thigh rotation. Knee bend. Ankle tilt. So he can get pretty posable for being a 2019 figure. Let's give him his weapons. You can give him his gun from the toy / the cartoon, and one of the twin blasters if you want. Or you can give him both the twin blasters. Either way, the guns just look better in purple. Now, again, he doesn't come with the caboose, so you can put this on him. It's not going to color match. So let's bring in the Siege version so we can see how different they are. And geez, it's like somebody just took he took him into MS Paint and just lightened him up to 1,000. He looks like he's yellowed beyond belief, and I don't like this dark purple. He just overall looks more cartoon accurate here than he does on the original figure. The only thing I don't like is the feet being purple, but I get it. It's for the train mode, so he looks more coherent in his train mode. When I first saw the images of this set, I wasn't too happy about the lighter gray versus the Hasbro one, but I'm slowly starting to get over it because it looks 10,000 times better. So, barring what they do with the 86 version, I am sticking with this. So now, let's get to Blitzwing. Alright, finally, here is Blitzwing. And he, it just looks so much better. They did the purple here on the side of his head. That's in the cartoon. It's just, he looks so much better. Articulation-wise, head's on a ball joint. Gonna move this forward. Arms can go forward, back, can't, we'll go back. In and out. 360 of the bicep. Elbow bend. Wrist rotation and inward wrist. He does have a waist. Hip, legs can go forward. Can't really go back. In and out. Thigh. Knee. And ankle. So he can get pretty posable too. So let's give him a sword and a gun. Now, it's your own personal preference how you want to display this. You could display it like this or with it collapsed. I like it out like this. So let's bring in his legacy counterpart. All right, so here he is with his legacy counterpart. And just night and day. Again, cartoon, toy. He just overall looks better than the legacy version. I'm glad I got this one because I liked the light purple of the cartoon. I wanted something more cartoony. So, there's that. Now let's bring in our trio so we can actually see what they look like together. And these guys look great. The royal idiot and his two follower idiots. And then just for a comparison, let's also bring in the previous dramatic capture characters. My Takara Soundwave is actually put up on my other shelf right now, and I didn't want to transform him, so I'm just bringing in the legacy one. So here are the other bots from the other dramatic set all together. You can see the cons look a lot more good, or a lot better together now that they're all done up in animation colors. Him, I can't wait for the 86 one. It is a nightmare tease show right now over on TFW for this guy. Holy crap. Like, don't go to TFW. But overall, what do I think of the Dramatic Capture Triple Takeover pack? I think this is great. As for somebody who doesn't own any version of this mold, which, how do you not own a version of this Starscream yet? Like, for real. This is just a good set to own. If you are wanting more toon-accurate versions of these three characters, I say go for it. The Dramatic Capture series is a really good collection so far of recreating iconic moments from the series and the movies. Mainly, I think the series so far, just like that's the whole point, is recreating iconic moments from the Generation 1 cartoon. This set being from the Triple Takeover episode, where these three kind of took over as leader of the Decepticons. Well, these two did. He went and commanded an army of trains for a while. And the Coronation set was just also referenced them in the 86 movie together. Just like how in the first pack was Megatron, Soundwave, and Shockwave all on the Nemesis Bridge before they departed for Earth. So, I highly recommend you guys hunt down this set. If you do not have any versions of these molds, these are perfect stand-ins with your current 86 cartoon style bots. Like, if you're going for a cartoon aesthetic, these guys are the perfect blend. Just like how with Legacy Soundwave, this guy's more built for cartoon aesthetic than he was the Takara one. I don't doubt in my mind that he will be a darker color scheme. If there's no doubt in my mind that this will be this for the 86 version with the cargo and the other weapons. So